Hello, everyone.
Hello there.
We're moving into the holiday season this year, this time of the year. It's almost like everything is winding down. There's a feeling. Well, that feeling might be something that we are going to talk about, or part of it. So it's the subjects that we are talking about here in this season will probably be a little bit lighter, not less important, but not heavy stuff necessarily.
Mm.
We're not shying away from it, but a little bit more in the holiday season. And we start today with a term, a word, uh, maybe something that one is aware of for the most of your life, but you don't have a word for it.
Mm. Mm. So it actually stems from the more heavy term, the more the difficult one. That's called a trigger, which is almost like a psychological switch that falls when somebody says something that triggers a wound in you, that triggers that unhealed part in your psyche, and that triggers a response that is actually uh, not um,
In
in
proportion.
proportion to what was said. So that's called a trigger. But we also became aware of a term that is called that shows something of the opposite, which is called a glimmer.
Mm.
And that is noticing or seeing or experiencing something that makes you feel joy, contentment, happiness, a moment of uh, real deep pleasure. And it can be something really tiny. So it maybe comes from a little bit of a different place. It's not so much from the reptile brain that tries to, the ego that tries to keep us safe,
Mm.
but from a place maybe deeper in our psyche that has to do with maybe good memories from childhood, or
A sense of
a sense of
safety,
safety,
belonging.
belonging, things that you specifically, because I think it's a very personal language,
Mm.
the glimmer language,
Mm.
um, to everybody, something that's always been special to you, and that
Mm.
when you notice that in your day, it makes your day a little bit lighter.
Mm. Mm. Yeah,
It makes you feel less alone, or
yes.
seen, or yeah.
It's like a little treat.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
And it can be something that's generally just something that you love. For me, the color green, to look out the window and it's green, green, green all around,
mm.
makes me feel really good. I feel
Mm.
good wearing green. I feel good looking at green, um, being surrounded by it. Um, it's actually quite a big limmer for me. And maybe that stems from growing up in the Lowveld, where we hardly had winters. It was
Mm.
always green.
Mm.
Um,
So were you
the
always happy in the Lowveld?
From what I can remember, I mean, I didn't have like a very um, abusive or difficult childhood. I
Mm.
think there were the normal wounding going on.
Mm. And upheavals?
And but the beauty around me, the natural beauty. So for me, a lot of glimmers has to do with nature.
Mm.
And yeah.
And the
Now our little dog is being naughty.
bothering the other one. But it's also interesting that one almost detects the fact that a glimmer often has to do with our senses.
Yes, a very essential experience. It may be a fragrance or a smell, like a food, a lovely food smell.
Mm.
Um, and it has a definite impact on you,
And
psychological,
emotional.
emotionally.
Mm.
It has an impact. So it changes mood. It enhances your day. It's just something that that um, that makes the moment memorable
Mm,
and
mm.
yeah.
But I think it. We say it's connected more closely to the senses, but that doesn't mean that there is an absence of a deeper um, inner connection, because it also, I think it ties into getting to know what resonates with you,
Mm, mm,
to get to know your space.
mm,
And what I mean by that is your space of comfort, your space of well being,
mm,
in other words, what are the things that contribute to that?
mm,
Uh, and it's not as if one has an influence over a glimmer. I think that is also the beauty of it.
mm,
It's not a flash.
mm.
A glimmer is not a flash.
You can actually pass it by without noticing if
Yes,
you're not paying
it
attention.
is fleeting. It is
Yeah, yeah,
it is just there.
yeah.
But it has such an impact for the time frame that you are aware of it. It's almost disproportionate as to the feeling it leaves.
Mm, mm.
It's just
But I would say that one, if you are aware of the impact of these tiny little moments of bliss, if you want to call it that,
mm,
is that you have to exercise that muscle.
mm,
If you're aware of this and you can exercise um, that to be more aware, to
mm.
to not just walk out your door and like with us to the retreat house and not notice what's around you, not
Yes.
notice the butterfly
Or
or
that the plums are becoming
or the
ripe.
plums are ripe.
Mm.
It has to do with attention and awareness
And
again.
awareness,
Yeah,
mindfulness.
yeah.
I think mindfulness plays a big role uh, in that. Uh, just being open to one's surrounding, which doesn't mean that we say, all right, just focus on the positive and so on. Sometimes we go through a very difficult period,
Mm,
and then it's more difficult. But then almost all of a sudden we experience something in that difficult period, and it alleviates it a little
mm,
bit.
mm. I
Um,
think it is very difficult when you in the throes of a big trigger in your life, and it takes you into a very emotional tailspin,
mm,
and or you are suffering from depression, a very bad bout of depression. It's difficult then to see anything else or to be open to experiencing anything else, because it takes up so much psychic
mm,
space,
mm,
and
mm,
it feels like it has to do with survival.
mm,
So and people that's depressed will often say that everything looks gray, they don't see beauty, they
mm, mm, mm,
are not able to in that period of time.
mm,
um but I think then also to almost remind yourself that those things are there, and almost like the gratitude um, attitude,
mm,
to think of things that you can be grateful for, but then also to look for things that makes you happy.
mm,
Um,
mm. If
and
you
free. It's there. Uh, it's waiting. I want to say.
mm, mm. Uh, can you think of a few examples in the recent past?
Yeah, I think something that I wanted to see that would have been a big glimmer was the supermoon last night. But then
Mm,
we had fog, so it wasn't visible. But it's always very often to do with nature. So a beautiful starry night, um, the sunshine after days of fog or rain to wake up and the sun is shining, and it's a pretty, really a bright day.
Mm.
That's a glimmer. Um, we, I think, also things that has a very definite meaning for us, or important meaning, like the sunbirds for me.
Mm.
And at the retreat house, we have these plants that actually the sunbirds really love.
The
So
rhubarb.
the wild rhubarb. So they come up really just to the other side of the window, so you can sit there and you can watch them a meter and a half from you,
Mm.
and they are not aware of you. So it's such a special thing to be able to sit there and watch this symbol of abundance and of
Mm.
protection and of care be there,
Mm.
so close and available to me.
Mm. But it's also, that said, it's interesting that Christmas music has an impact on you as well.
I think that's an nostalgic trigger.
Mm.
It takes me back to childhood Christmases. There's a certain charm around that. Um, yeah, definitely.
So if you hear that in the background, or
Yeah, it
some,
sets a certain tone. It sets a
mm.
certain mood that I love. I
Mm.
love those moods. I love that time of the year when you can start thinking about Christmas gifts. Ever since I was little, and I think that's another glimmer for me, is to be making things
Mm.
and to make gifts. I love sitting with my list and pulling it up and thinking what I'm going to give everybody. So, yeah.
Mm.
And for you?
Well, it was last weekend that I saw the two sparrows here at Tafelkop. And we were so excited about that because since we've moved in, we haven't seen sparrows for one reason or the other. I don't know what it is, but there were these two sparrows sitting on the fence, and it was a beautiful day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely, because you were wondering why we don't have sparrows at Tafelkop.
Mm.
So there you go.
Yeah, so maybe you have a little bit more time available now that the year is winding down. Maybe you're on leave or taking a vacation. Just be mindful, just be present, and see whether glimmers announce themselves. And we would like to hear what your experiences were.
Yeah, follow the glimmer trail.
Yes. Until next week, keep well.
Keep well. Bye bye.
Bye bye.